In the heart of the vast and unforgiving Sinai desert, a group of rebels dared to challenge the authority of Moses, the man who had led them out of slavery and into the wilderness. This act of defiance, known as the Rebellion of Korah, is not just a tale of human ambition and divine retribution. It is a profound exploration of leadership, community, and the delicate balance between individual ambition and collective responsibility. The story of Korah and his followers, as recorded in the Book of Numbers, offers a mirror to the human condition, reflecting the timeless struggle between those who seek power and those who wield it. The rebellion begins with Korah, a Levite, and his allies, Dathan and Abiram, sons of Reuben. These men, along with 250 other community leaders, confront Moses and Aaron, accusing them of overstepping their bounds. "You have too much," they cry. "For all the community they are all holy, and in their midst is the Lord, and why should you raise yourselves up over the Lord's assembly?" Numbers chapter 16, verses 3. This accusation is rooted in a fundamental misunderstanding of the roles that Moses and Aaron have been given by God. While it is true that the entire community is holy, the leadership roles of Moses and Aaron are not arbitrary. They are divinely appointed. The rebels, however, see these roles as a means of personal aggrandizement, a way for Moses and Aaron to lord over the people. Moses, in his response, does not immediately react with anger or defensiveness. Instead, he falls on his face in a gesture of humility and reverence, recognizing the gravity of the situation. He then proposes a test to determine who truly has God's favor. The rebels are to bring their fire pans, filled with incense, before the Lord. The one whom God chooses will be recognized as holy. This test is a critical moment, a turning point that will decide the fate of the rebels and the community. The next day, as the rebels and their fire pans gather at the entrance of the tent of meeting, the Lord's glory appears before the entire assembly. The divine presence is a stark reminder of the stakes involved. Moses, along with Aaron, warns the people to move away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, knowing that the Lord's judgment is imminent. The earth then opens its mouth and swallows the rebels and their families alive, while a fire from the Lord consumes the 250 men who offered the incense. The ground closes over them, and they disappear from the face of the earth, a graphic demonstration of the consequences of challenging God's appointed leaders. The rebellion of Korah is a cautionary tale that resonates through the ages. It speaks to the dangers of pride and the importance of recognizing one's place within a community. Korah and his followers, driven by their own ambitions, failed to see that their challenge to Moses and Aaron was not just a dispute over leadership, but a rejection of the divine order. Their rebellion was not about justice or equality, but about personal gain and the desire for power. In their quest for influence, they ignored the greater good and the divine mandate that had been given to Moses and Aaron. The story also highlights the tension between individual rights and communal responsibilities. While the rebels argued that all the community was holy, they failed to understand that holiness comes with a responsibility to follow God's will and to respect the roles and authorities that God has established. The community, in turn, is called to support and uphold these authorities, not out of blind obedience, but out of a shared commitment to the divine plan. The fringes with the indigo twist, mentioned in the preceding chapter, serve as a powerful symbol of this commitment. The indigo dye, derived from the murex snail, was a rare and costly substance, symbolizing the royal and priestly status of the people of Israel. The fringes were a constant reminder of their covenant with God, their obligation to keep His commandments, and their role as a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. Exodus chapter 19, verses 6. When the people were tempted to stray, they were to look at the fringes and remember their duty to God. The indigo twist, in particular, was a reminder of the divine presence and the sacredness of their calling. The rebellion of Korah, therefore, is not just a historical event, but a moral lesson. It teaches us about the consequences of pride, the importance of humility, and the need to trust in God's appointed leaders. It also underscores the value of community and the dangers of individualism. In a world that often celebrates personal ambition and the pursuit of power, the story of Korah serves as a powerful reminder that true leadership is not about personal gain, but about serving the greater good. In the end, the rebellion of Korah is a stark reminder that when we challenge the divine order, we do so at our peril. The earth that swallowed the rebels and their families is a vivid symbol of the judgment that awaits those who reject God's will. It is a story that invites us to reflect on our own lives and to consider whether we are living in accordance with the principles of holiness and obedience that God has set before us. The rebellion of Korah is a warning, but it is also a call to action. It challenges us to examine our own motivations and to ensure that our actions are rooted in a commitment to the greater good, not in the pursuit of personal power. In a world that is often divided and contentious, the story of Korah reminds us of the importance of unity, humility, and trust in God's plan. In the end, the story of Korah is not just about the past. It is about the present and the future. It is a story that continues to speak to us today, urging us to live in a way that honors God and serves the community. The rebellion of Korah is a lesson that we ignore at our own peril.